Hi everybody, this is Prasant Naidu here from Lighthouse Insights, and today we have Karthi Martian. He is Executive Vice President and Head Group Marketing at Kotak Mahindra Bank. Hi Karthik.
Hi.
I hope you're doing well.
Fantastic.
How's the day been today?
Rainy and wet.
That's like it's synonymous to what Mumbai is.
Sure. So right now in this season for sure.
Karthik, before we take some more interesting and detailed questions, what's keeping you busy at your end?
Well, two or three things. One of them definitely is figuring out how to take Kotak to the next level. And when I say Kotak, I speak about the bank, of course, but as much the brokerage firm, as much the mutual fund, as much the investment bank, as much the wholesale bank, because Kotak plays in all these spaces. And the game, the challenge, and what makes it interesting for me is actually the fact that we are a challenger brand with a nearly 30-year legacy. So it's an interesting and probably even exotic combination. But that's what I think is exciting, that we have legacy and heritage. At the same time, we behave as if we are new kids on the block. So every day is a new and exciting challenge for us.
Great. Inspires us as a startup, those words. Karthik, you had a very interesting career from my point of view. You started your career as a copywriter, and you were into content with the television channel.
That's
and
right.
then you've been a marketer most of your time, and then you've been also an entrepreneur. Interesting professional growth for me. How do you see that? Would you like to add some thoughts on that?
Well, it's been a journey, and I think most headhunters, if you ask them, they'll say Rolling Stone kind of CV, so they'll not be able to find a job for me, I suspect. But when I look back, I can't honestly say that I designed all of it. I started life wanting to be in the communication space. So I actually, in my school days, I wanted to be a novelist. My father disabused me of those romantic notions in those days, saying you have to first earn a living and then you can try to float your dreams. So he guided me towards my education, which I'm thankful to him for. But on the back of that, this urge to communicate and to hone my skills in communication and to use communication as a tool with which to try to make a difference in the world hasn't quit. So the way I have taken that journey is to write copy, is to try to work in spaces where communication is important and is actually the core. So advertising, for example, on the brand management side, or as a marketer on the client side. But the products and services that I have naturally gravitated towards have also ended up being which are communication products. So television production, which I did for quite a while, and I was quite thrilled and enjoyed my time in that media and all that. Of more recent vintage, all the work that I have been privileged to do in the financial services space, whether it's Sharekhan or Kotak or IDBI Bank in between as well, the game has always been about trying to demystify the space. Because the problem is that the space of money tends to intimidate people very quickly and very easily, and most people just pull down their shutters and blank out. So it has been an interesting journey. I can happily say I'm far from done. Less than 1% of the journey of making financial services products interesting and engaging for people has been done by anybody in the world. But I have been privileged to have at least 2 shots at it, which have been very interesting. Sharekhan, I'm very proud of. Kotak, I've stayed here 8 years, so it's still keeping me excited. I'm happy to say.
Good to hear that. You seem to be too young, with every day that you're going through at Kotak, I think. My next question is I speak to decision makers in the marketing world, and there are 2 sets of people. One who are very open, who are kid from their thinking. They have an open mind, and these are the ones who have accepted the digital revolution in the country, which is slowly us. We're seeing it. And there is another set of thinkers and marketers who still are not okay and open, and still okay. Still the medium is scratching. ROI is not there. कुछ नहीं है तो चलो digital कर लेते हैं. So that kind of things. And you started marketing. You are an IMB pass out, Bangalore pass out, and how do you see marketing evolved from that stage? Back in '92, you were in Bangalore, and to today when marketing has changed quite a bit. What's your thought on that?
So when we were in business school, the only thing that we had, which probably the rest of lay India didn't have, was email. So we were privileged, like IITians, and a lot of us had these. Email was very early, right? In 1990.
Right.
Hotmail hadn't yet happened.
Right.
So the only exposure to the internet we had was email, but it was very clear because I was able to email my friends who were studying in the US, and I was in touch with what was going on in the US through them, and that was a real privilege because shortly before that, all of us were putting large expensive stamps and envelopes and applying to universities in the US. So I know that that transition happened within 2 years. 2 years after that, when I joined my first job, a fax machine was in the office where I joined, but it was in the CEO's office and it was under lock and key. From then, from 92, where fax machines and STD phones were under lock and key, to today, where every single Dudwala has a mobile phone with which he can read or view stuff from across the world. I think the journey has been fantastic. Certainly for people of a certain vintage, meaning mine, people who are 40 plus, I think the challenge is much greater. One of the big problems we have is that everything we've learned to do, everything we've become expert at over the last 20 years suddenly means next to nothing. Suddenly we are being required to become expert at something new every year. First it was Orkut, then it was MySpace, then it was Facebook, then it is WhatsApp, then it is Twitter. There is no end. And of course our RTs are hardening, my knees are hurting, and to keep pace and to keep trying to learn like a youngster is a really demanding challenge. There are many days where I just feel, why the hell don't I just retire and let someone else do all of this stuff? But I think the flip of it also is that the magic of typing 140 characters, not having to seek anybody's permission, but to tell the whole world who's following you. In my case, it may be 27 people, but whatever it is, being able to tell people what you think about something, and that taking its own shape and going forward. For example, just a couple of days ago, I saw a post on Facebook by a friend of mine about some differently abled child having been insulted in a mall.
Right.
And that I reposted it naturally and so did many friends. And I'm happy to see that today's newspaper has covered it. And sure enough, that mall will have to take action and change its mindsets. And these small changes are possible today because of this whole basket of things that are digital, which starts with email and ends I can't even say ends because we don't know what's next. But it's exciting. That's all I can say. And I'm hoping that all this excitement is melting my cholesterol away.